The demand for mental health services continues to rise, putting pressure on healthcare providers to respond. The National Alliance on Mental Illness has found that 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness each year, and over 1 million people in Massachusetts have a mental health condition. Well, the Museum of Science is hosting an exhibit designed to bring awareness to mental health. It's called Mental Health Mind Matters. And joining me now is Dr. Insoo Hyun. He's the director of the museum's Center for Life Sciences and Public Learning. Tell us about the exhibit and what you believe visitors will gain from walking through and visiting.
Absolutely. We know that it's been a very difficult past few years for everybody. It's been extremely stressful. Mental health is a topic that everyone is talking about. So we thought that the Museum of Science has to respond the way we normally do to these sorts of situations by encouraging conversation around controversial, difficult topics. So a really good way to do that is to bring in a traveling exhibit called Mind Matters, where our visitors can learn hands-on what it's like to have a mental condition, to speak freely about it, to hear from the voices of people who have suffered these conditions, and to learn a little bit about the history of mental illness and the treatments for it. So it's an interactive exhibit. It's meant to encourage family conversations around these topics and to destigmatize the topic of mental health.
And it's a very interesting choice. We talk about mental health in many places, in school and at work, medical settings, but at a museum.
That's right. I think it was a bold choice, but the right choice to make. We have several colleagues who are advising us from the mental health field on this initiative. And when I talked to them about the fact that the mental health exhibit is here at the Museum of Science, they said, that is the right thing to do. I mean, that makes total sense. The Museum of Science is a trusted institution for reliable science and health information. And it's also an entertaining place to be, to learn. And so this needs to be up front and center for a conversation for families. Everybody knows somebody who's dealing with mental health issues. Mental health issues span the entire lifespan. It waxes and wanes. Everybody has some
not always
experience.
not always on the severe edge of the spectrum.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's not as noticeable. You know, you talked about it being an interactive exhibit. How does this exhibit help address stigmas around mental health in a way that children can relate to?
Right. Well, you know, part of understanding someone's experience is to experience a little bit of what it's like to be in that situation. So we have interactives such as these special headphones you put on that make it really difficult to concentrate on what someone else is saying to you because you know, maybe there may be psychological disorders where it's really hard to focus on the person in front of you. So there are different kinds of experiences you can undertake in a safe way.
So you're trying to simulate in some way what it might be like to have a particular mental health condition.
Yeah, we think that builds empathy, that builds understanding. We have not only the exhibit, but we're really capping it off in a couple of weeks with a themed weekend called Building Balance, a mental wellness event. And so not only do we have the exhibit there, but we have a dedicated weekend coming up in 2 weeks where families can come and participate in all sorts of activities, all sorts of fun hands-on activities that, again, destigmatize conversations around mental health, empower people with the right information and resources, and hopefully, you know, get people speaking freely to one another. To
are there ways that visitors can contribute their personal experience at this exhibit?
Right, so it's interactive in every respect. So we have an area where people can write down some of their experiences with mental health in a little piece of paper, put it in a safe box, and basically share with others at the museum some of their experiences. We also have, you know, the ability of people to write down a worry on a piece of paper, and it's called the worry shredder. You drop it into this machine and it shreds up your worries, and it's very cathartic. So there are 2 ways. It's just kind of a confessional sort of, you know, jotting down of your thoughts, and another way of just kind of letting things go.
Okay, so where can people go if they're experiencing issues with their mental health? Are the resources provided there?
Yes, so we have these groups of advisors who are absolutely essential to our effort. We have people from the National Institutes of Health. We have the president of the American Psychiatric Association. We have grassroots leaders in mental health all throughout the city who have helped us compile a master list, a resource online for people who want more information, who need resources. We have QR codes notes throughout the exhibit where you can just take that information home. So we really do want to educate people, but also empower them.
All right, Dr. Insoo Hyun, thank you so much, Director of the Museum Center for Life Sciences and Public Learning. It's a groundbreaking exhibit. Thanks for being here to tell us a little bit about it. The Mental Health Mind Matter exhibition runs through January 22nd at the Museum of Science. It's included with your general admission ticket purchases, and we'll post that information and more resources on our website at WCVB.com.